So I finally finished reading The Deal and I only have 3 words. I loved it. Hi, and welcome to another reading vlog. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I think I'm highly influenced to do one today, starting today, because it's currently snowing outside, and there's just something about reading when it's snowing. I just want to curl up in my chair, wrap up under my blanket, and just read a book. So, in an effort to start reading books by more authors that especially authors that I had planned to read books from last year, I thought it would be a perfect time to start reading some Elle Kennedy books. So, throughout this week, I'll be reading books written by Elle Kennedy, and I wanted to do the intro right now, but I'm not gonna start reading until later tonight because I have 2 crochet hats that I'm trying to finish for 2 craft events I have in early February. So I'm gonna get those done, and then I'm gonna do a reading update. So I'm trying to make this video as spoiler free as possible, but there might be some spoilers, so do watch at your own discretion, and I do hope you enjoy. Alright, so I'm 59 pages in Good Girl Complex. That is book 1 of the Avalon Bay series. I finished my hats. Here's the first one, which I made especially for my birthday. This is a Valentine's Day edition, which I made for my craft market. So far, Good Girl Complex follows Mackenzie. They call her Mac. I like to call her Kenzie. And this guy, Cooper. So Cooper got in a fight with this guy at his work, lost his job. The guy ended up having a girlfriend. So Cooper decided that as a way to pay back the guy, he's gonna let his girlfriend falls in love with him, and then she'll basically win or whatever. So the guy name is Preston. His girlfriend is, as you probably guessed, Mackenzie. So the pace is a little bit slow. There isn't really much happening in 59 pages, but Kenzie and Cooper has already met. Cooper is a twin. He has a twin, Evan or something like that. So, and then Kenzie has this friend called Bonnie, which I'm definitely loving Bonnie. She is such a bad influence for Kenzie since she has the good girl complex. She only does good stuff or whatever. She's an only daughter. So I'm gonna continue, and I'm gonna give you another update. I think tomorrow I'm gonna continue reading as I crochet another hat because I love to read and crochet. So I will give you an update tomorrow as to how far I am so far. Uh, I'm not sure if I'm loving or hitting it, but it's I don't know. I'm gonna give you an update tomorrow. Alright, so nothing much really happened since we last spoke, other than the fact that I made this beautiful green hat. It's similar to the one I'm wearing, but not similar. And I forgot to mention that Kenzie has her is she has her own little app. I'm not sure if I mentioned that she is the daughter. Her parents are rich, and she and Cooper kissed. I think I'm 116 pages in. I'm a bit disappointed. Yeah, I'm 122 pages in. I'm a bit disappointed because I'm not feeling this book. But I have a class on Zoom right now, so I'm going to log on to that. I have that from 6 to 8. Then I'm going to do some more reading. I'm currently working on another hat. I'm going to try to finish that. I'm hoping that I finish this book between today and tomorrow. If not, this book will probably be a DNF. I'm hoping if it gets better. If not, I'll have to DNF the book, which is something that I don't like doing. So I'm gonna get to class, and then I'll try to give you an update later on this week or tonight. It's later. So for hat, I do have a quick update. So I stopped reading Good Girl Complex. It's not a complete DNF. I made a promise to myself this year that I didn't want to DNF any book. I'd rather give it a 1 star, but I'm a bit of a mood reader, so I decided that I'm gonna possibly slow read it throughout the year. Not sure when I'm gonna finish it, but I kind of DNF it for this video. And then I started reading Heartbreaker by Elle Kennedy. It is book 1 of the Out of Uniform series, following Cash McCoy, who is in the military. He's a SEAL, Navy SEAL, and Jen Scott. So Jen Scott is Cash McCoy's CO's little sister. So it is the best friend sister slash forced proximity trope, because Jen has this darker ex-boyfriend called Brendan, and after they break up, he started stalking her. So his brother, I'm trying to remember his brother's name, and I just read it. Let me go back. So whatever her brother's name is, I'm still trying to remember. Oh, yes. So her brother's name is Carson. So Carson basically asks Cash to watch his little sister because he's afraid that Brendan might do something. But here's the kicker. Cash and Jen met 2 days before all of that happened. So they met and they almost had sex in a bar, and she gave him her number. He never called, but rain fell that night, and so he lost the number. So that's why he never called. So far, I'm at 242 pages in. I actually bought the audiobook for this. I'm reading this on my Kindle, and I actually bought the audiobook because I do have some craft markets coming up, and I do have some hats I'm trying to finish. So I read when I can, and I listen to the audiobooks when I get the chance, when I'm crocheting. So far I'm actually loving the spice. So I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about Elle Kennedy, because this is her second book, and there's nothing I'm loving per se about her book. I'm not a big fan of smut. So I'll read smut, but I'm not a big fan of smut. I'm more of a big fan of the romance. So not much romance happened, but a lot of smut. So I have about 80 pages left. So, and there is a lot of smut, but there isn't the romance or whatever. But I'm thinking that this is my last book, so for this video I'm probably gonna only read one and a half book. I'm not really feeling Elle Kennedy, to be honest, but I'm gonna see how this one ends, and based on how this one ends, I do have another book in my Kindle, which it was on a very good deal. I bought this on Audible for like $1.99. So I probably read that one too and listen to it. But that's just my updates. If I'm supposed to rate this book right now, it will be a 2 star. It might go up to a 2.5 depending on how it ends, but I'm not feeling Elle Kennedy the book. And it's hard. I don't think it's fair for me to judge her after 2 books, but that's my update. So I think I'll see you back when I do the final rating of this book and if I start another book. So I'm gonna finish making this gray bucket hat that I'm making, and I'm gonna finish this book. So alright, so I finally finished reading Heartbreaker, and it is a 3 stars for me. A few things that I like is the lack of unnecessary drama. My hair is in my mouth. Yeah, the lack of unnecessary drama. I like that there was no third act breakup, because I usually don't like that for romance books most of the times, unless it's for something that I think really makes sense. Something that I did not like is the lack of on page chemistry. And I also did not feel the romance. I did not feel them falling in love. And I'm not sure if it's because it was written from third person or whatever, but it is a 3 stars for me. I really enjoyed reading it. But although I said I was not going to start reading The Deal, which is book one of the off campus series, I'm kind of regretting not reading this book from reading this book first, because so far I'm loving it. It is with Anna, and she has this crush on this soccer player named Justin. And then there's this guy called Garrett. He's a hockey player. I'm not sure how I have not read a hockey romance ish, and now I'm thinking I might be interested in watching hockey as a sport. I'm not sure. So so Garrett basically failed one of the class he shares with probably the only class he shares with Anna, and she managed to be the only one who got an A. So she wants him to tutor her, and he is offering to give her one free date if she lets him pass the class. Anna is very witty, so I love that, and I just love Anna and Garrett's non-existent relationship right now, and I could feel that this might be a 5 star. I'm not trying to jinx it, but I'll try to give you an update once I'm done. Alright, so as I'm working on these small keychains, I decided that I wanted to get some reading done, and so I started reading again, and this is what I was looking for. I love the small things in a romance book. I like when it started out with the guy not really being interested in her, but he will do like Anna is not, what's his name? I'm so I'm so bad at this. Right, so Anna is not interested in Garrett. Yes. Anna is not Garrett's type. That's what I was trying to say. For now, she's just tutoring him so he can get his grade up so he can play in his next hockey game. And as she's staying over on one of the tutor session, all of his players are out because he lives in this off-campus house with some of his teammates. I did forget to mention that Garrett is the captain of the team as well. So there's that. As she's staying over, they decided that he was ordering pizza and he was going to catch up on, he wanted to watch Bad Break or Mad Breaker. I know the series, I just can't remember it. Funny, and I was just reading the thing. But So they're there watching, and she ends up staying there for the entire night. So I'm 90 pages in, and I love how he's not thinking how he wants to, you know, thinking just about sex, or he's not thinking about, oh damn, I wonder what you'd look like naked or something like that. So it's the little things that builds up to the romance. And I'm reading this on my Kindle, and I'm just getting five stars. I'm loving this book, and it's already 90 pages in, to the point where I have to buy the physical book. And when I do buy the physical book, I'm going to reread it. I might be just tooting my own horn, but I just wanted to do an update. So I'm going to continue reading, and let's see if I'm still feeling that this deserves a 5 star or not. So I finally finished reading The Deal, and I only have 3 words. I loved it. I mean, I'm just glad that I did not want to read this book initially, because me not wanting to read this book made this book end up being the last book that I was somewhat willing to give a try. And now, let me just start off by saying all the reasons why I love this book. I mean, I love the fate dating trope. There were things in the book that I could relate to, so I love that. I'm a little bit witty and sarcastic myself, so Anna was easy to relate to with her witty and sarcasticness. And then Graham, which is Garrett, was just so protective, and loved how they had lives outside of their fate dating, which end up becoming a relationship. Because oftentimes when I read romance books, sometimes they make the entire book about two people just falling in love as if they don't have lives outside of each other. So I love that she had this music thing going on for her. I love that he had his hockey. And I love how in this book he was the captain of the hockey team. He was like one of the most popular guys in school. But it wasn't that did not Elle did not make him a jerk. And I love that. There were a lot of things that I loved about the book, but one of the things I also loved was the third act breakup. And let me tell you, I normally hate third act breakups, but uh, it was still for something slightly stupid, but it was for self. They break up for selfless reasons. So, and I loved how they didn't do anything rash after they break up. There was no bad feeling. If this isn't my hint for you to read the book, if you have not read it, then you'd just have to read it for yourself. I'm trying to let this be spoiler slash slightly spoiler free. So those are the 3 books that I read. I had one that I DNF'd. Then there was The Heartbreaker that I gave a 3 star, and this that is a 5 star. I just love how we progressed in this video, like a no star to a half and half, and then all the way to 5 stars. So I loved it. It was a nice read. Now, if you've read any Elle Kennedy books that you love, preferably 5 stars, I would love to get your recommendations. So thank you so much for watching. If you aren't already subscribed, feel free to go ahead and subscribe if you're into reading vlogs that might sometimes have a little bit of crochet in it, because I have 2 hobbies that I love, and I'm not going to give up crocheting for reading, and I'm not going to give up reading for crocheting. So if you don't mind, then feel free to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, month, year, week, minute, second, time, hour, and I will see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay fit, and toodaloos.